Hello, amazing executive function coaches. My name is Sean McCormick. I am the founder of Executive Function Specialists and the Executive Function Coaching Academy. And today I'm going to be talking to you about procrastination. Ooh, a subtle foe, procrastination takes many different forms, some of which I will be breaking down for you today. And I'll also be walking you through what is the impact of procrastination, especially on executive function coaches, and how do we get past it? How do we identify it, understand it, and work past it so we can grow our coaching businesses, create lives of freedom, flexibility, fun, and financial freedom, and enjoy this work? So let's jump into it. Before we get deep into the nature of procrastination, I just want to show you the roadmap for the Executive Function Coaching Academy. So we just shipped the case study for Dr. Josephine Iskro. So let me pop this open. This is a case study that we've been working on, and this is Dr. Josephine Iskro, who went from being a pediatrician to executive function coach, and tells her story, which is just awesome. She's one of the first people that came through the Executive Function Coaching Academy. And this is her website, Focused and Functional Executive Function Coaching. So check that out. It's a really amazing story about how she figured out what she really wanted to focus on and how she took action and didn't procrastinate to create that for herself. So that is a great story to check out. If you want to find that, you can go to Learn and then go to Articles, and it should be in our case study soon. But right now you can just type in Iskro and check that out there. And if you're in the Executive Function Coaching Academy, you can go into the community and then go into Classroom, and we have our EFCA success stories. So you can jump in there and look at these case studies. So back to the plan, we've also got the 90-day paid client course that is out now. Check it out, jump into it. You can jump into the first month and go through the first 7 to 28 days of this course. Just work through it one day at a time. Each of these steps takes about 20 minutes or so. So with about an hour and 20 minutes a week, you can really make a huge impact and guarantee your first paying client just by going through that. Okay, and then in progress, I am working on a book for executive function coaches. This is for you. It is a very rough draft. If you're in the coaching academy, you can check this out. The title I'm working with right now, I'm getting more feedback that from educator to executive function coach, a proven path to paying clients in the next 90 days is the title. And I've just been chipping away, working on this each week in the morning, usually before my kids get up, to try to kind of knock this out and get a draft out in the next 6 months or so. So if you have any thoughts or wonders about that, feel free to message me. I'm also going to be working on a YouTube series for transitioning teachers, and then a course for school educators. I'm doing some workshops for schools, and so I figured I'd just also convert that into a course for educators soon. So all that is coming down the pipeline, and all that is based on people's feedback. So let me know what you need, drop it in the comments below. Do that as soon as you can. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really appreciate it. And let's keep going here. All right, so today we're going to be digging into this procrastination. So let me jump over here to the plan. So this episode is called Stop Procrastinating and Start Doing. And we have reached episode 10, double digits. Woohoo! All right, so here is the too long didn't read bottom line for what you're going to get from this episode. So 1, procrastination is a subtle foe that takes many forms of, quote, productivity. So this is a big one. Many people think they're being productive because they're doing things. But if you're not doing the right things, then you're not being productive. For example, I could be running, but if I'm running in the wrong direction, am I really being productive? I want to be running towards the goal, right? I could be climbing a ladder, but if that ladder is on the wrong wall, is it really an effective use of my time to be climbing that ladder, right? So productivity does not equal focus or success. True productivity is something that takes a step in the direction to which you want to go. So for example, I would rather take one tiny step in the direction of my ideal reality than 10 useless steps in the wrong direction. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. The other thing here, procrastination leads to overwhelm, misalignment, and burnout, right? We do not want you feeling overwhelmed, misaligned, and burnout. So when you're doing the wrong stuff, you might spend the whole day working, but you're doing the wrong stuff. So I'd rather have you spend 10 minutes on the right stuff, which is more valuable for your business, than 5 hours on somewhat productive stuff. And the big picture solution to procrastination is tiny steps, right? And we're going to talk about what that looks like. There's a thing called the domino effect, which I'll explain to you, which will help you understand that just focusing on the next smallest, tiniest step is the most important thing you can do. Okay, so let's talk about the many forms of procrastination here. Now, the first one that really jumps up to me because I hear about it from other coaches that I'm supporting or people in my community or people who come through but don't really do everything is this procrastinating problem. And procrastinating is when you keep learning, but you're not actually taking action. So yeah, it's great if you take more and more courses. I mean, sure, it sounds good, like, oh, I've taken this course and this certification, but if it didn't lead to you actually being out there in the trenches, in the fields, helping students, what was the point? Think about that, right? Your job is to go out and help people, to be of service. You're already a teacher. You've already got the background teaching or being a speech language pathologist or occupational therapist. You've done the work. You did the training. You got the college degree. Now you need to go help people on your own terms. But continuing to take courses rather than focusing on the real thing that needs to happen, which is the students who need your help, the families that need your help, they're waiting for you. But you got to attract them by doing the work, by putting out your value proposition, by sharing what you do with other professionals in your area, by doing a little talk to a parent group. You've got to do the real work, not the I'm going to keep learning until forever, right? I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you want to be a professional student, do that. But if you want to be an executive function coach, you got to go be an executive function coach. Okay. I hope that clarifies it a bit. Now, the second part is the procrastination justification, right? And this one looks like you know what you need to do. You know what the pain point is, but you keep saying, oh, this is my only option. Oh, I can't start over. I spent so much time using this tool, even though there's a very clear route to success. I just got to stick with this. We've always done it this way. Now, I'm thinking about people. This is more for people who maybe have been working for a few years as a coach, and then they come through some of my resources. They see a way better solution, but they choose not to do it because they've always done it a certain way, even though if they did the new thing, right, it would save them so much time. Here's an example. Someone has some very complicated billing system where they manually bill every client for every session. And they've done that for years and they're exhausted and they can't take on more clients because of this, because it's taking up so much time to do this administrative work. When they could jump into a tool like TutorBird or a different tool that provides this type of option, they could put all their clients in there and they could auto bill them, right? And it would just, every time they put the sessions in, it bills the client, right? Now, when I started my business, I did a lot of wrong stuff. One of the big things was I ran all my billing through this archaic software on QuickBooks. But when I discovered TutorBird, because I had my podcast, Earn More Tutoring, and I interviewed Joanne Kaminsky, and she told me about TutorBird, and I tried it, I was like, yep, I'm gonna have to email every single one of my clients and let them know I'm switching to this auto billing system and that it's going to an effect and that I need them to fill out this form to put their credit card information. But yeah, this is going to take me 10 hours up front, but I'm never going to have to think about billing again. And I'm going to be able to scale up my practice. So if you know the way, but you just keep justifying, well, I'm too deep in this and I can't switch, but you know there's a better solution that would literally relieve your pain points, don't procrastinate. Just eat the frog. Do it. Start small or pay someone to help you, but don't just keep suffering through something. Okay, now there's the procrastinate happiness, right? And this is actually probably one of the most important ones for us is like, oh, I will spend time with my kids or I will go on date night or whatever it might be when I have 5 paying clients or when I have 10 paying clients. The truth is you have to start by paying yourself first with your lifestyle needs, right? If you need to go hiking once a month and take a day off or whatever it might be, start with those things. Those are your priorities. And then build your coaching practice around it. That's the point of a business. The point of the business is to free you up so you're happy. It's not to have this albatross around your neck that you're dragging around suffering with. And so when you start with the things you need and then you build your business around that, then you make decisions about your clients in terms of your rates, in terms of your working hours, because you're starting with the things that make you happy, the things that you need. So don't procrastinate on happiness. Start with the happiness and then build in the work around it. Okay, that's really important. It's really hard to do because it's counterintuitive, but it's essential, especially if you are your own business owner. No one's going to tell you what to do. You don't have a boss breathing down your neck. You're the boss. You're the boss. you can make these decisions. Took me a long time to learn that. I'm still working on it, but very important piece of owning a business. Okay, so if you want to get started, if you're not sure where to start, I've got a few tools here that are really going to help you. So one, if you're just a transitioning teacher trying to figure out how to make the first steps, get your first paying clients, I have a 10-minute course. This is $11. This is for you. Like, this is not, trust me, $11 does not change my life. I'm not, the only reason I charge for this is because when people pay, they pay attention. So this is for you. This will help you get started, get unstuck. You'll learn how to determine your niche, run a coaching session, set your rates, have a contract, and find clients, and all that for $11. If you get one client that pays you $100, $150, you'll have 10x your investment here. So that is a really great starting step. For someone who you just want more clients, if you join the school community, we have monthly plans as well as annual plans. And this will be going up as more people join. You can do the 90-day paid client course, which guarantees you a paid client by the end of this. So this is like my marketing approach in a box. This will help you get more clients. Even if you have clients, this will help you get more faster. And you can skip over steps that you already have set up, but this is a breakdown of exactly what I would do after 6 years and working with hundreds of clients, what I would do to get your business going. And then lastly, if you are very serious about this work and you're trying to grow your business quickly, my certification course will put you in a position where you can launch quickly. This is for people who know they want to do this work. They don't have maybe a ton of time, but they're ready to invest in themselves. This course is very valuable, and it'll basically teach you how to run sales calls, how to run coaching sessions, how to run family team meetings, everything I know about executive function coaching packaged to make your life easier. So those are some tools to help you get started. So now let's go into the death by 1,000 cuts. And what I mean by this is what happens if you continue to procrastinate, if you don't actually start to address these energy leaks in your life, what's going to happen? So let me show you the risk of not taking action here. So one day never comes. Have you seen the movie Up, about that little guy who he wants to take a trip with his wife, I believe, and they're like one day, and then one of them passes away. I think his wife passes away, and that one day never came. So that one day is today, right? Take the most important action you need to get going with your business, and then carve out that time to enjoy your life, right? It can happen. It can happen now, today, this weekend, this month. So don't wait for one day. Don't procrastinate on living life. Avoidance leads to energy drain and burnout. If you're wondering why you're feeling tired and exhausted, it's probably because you're avoiding doing the things you know you have to do. The joy, the freedom is waiting to be unlocked, but it starts with thinking about your long-term vision, thinking about the most important step you can take today, even if it's tiny, and doing that consistently. I have something written on my wall over here. It says, "My message: with consistent daily effort, focused on the right things, success is inevitable." You have 100% chance of being successful in what you want to do if you're willing to carve out 5 minutes a day to work on it, right? And that time will expand as you invest more in it. But if you're not willing to do it, yeah, you can't be successful. But if you're willing to do even the small things, you will be successful. You will be able to achieve your vision. It's like 100% success rate, especially with something like starting your own coaching business, right? If I was to tell you I want to be in the NFL and I just need to work on that for 5 minutes a day, yeah, not going to happen as a 37-year-old man here. But if I want to start a coaching business, or I want to do more public speaking, or some things that are in the zone of possibility, this can happen if you invest even 2 to 5 minutes a day on it. Okay, and lastly, confirmation bias. If you keep avoiding the things that you need to do and looking for reasons for why you should avoid it. So a good example I'm going to give is I met with someone, and they justified their lower rates by saying, "Oh, I'm in this region of the country," or, "I can't charge for that." And then I said, "Well, are there wealthy people nearby?" "Oh yeah, it's like within 30 minutes here." "Oh, and there are some, big industries over here, but no, I couldn't charge that." And the reason she said that is because one person confirmed her bias, saying, "Oh, you're not going to be able to charge that much. Good luck," right? We often look for confirmation of our biases, right? If you don't like someone or something, you'll see more things that confirm your dislike of them. Now, I think it was Abraham Lincoln that said, the best way to destroy an enemy is by making them a friend. And one thing I've heard that one of my coaches did was she said, if I want to find a way to get along with someone, I'll look at them and I'll notice something I like on them. And I'll just like keep that in mind that I like their necklace or, the way they did their hair or whatever. Focusing on the things you want and finding justification for that rather than letting people confirm your biases or your negative thoughts or your automatic negative thoughts. Like look for reasons to justify increasing your rates, not reasons to not justify it. Right. And so that confirmation bias can be really powerful. Our brain just creates automatic narratives. So we got to watch out for that. Okay. Before we jump into the solution, let's review a few wins in the community. So there's so much good stuff happening in the Coaching Academy. I just love what I'm seeing. So one thing I love to see was Ella shared. She reached out to 15 people yesterday to connect and have already heard back from 5. Like that is amazing. That's like a 33% response rate for potential referral partners, which I have told people this because I based it on what I've seen coaching one, executive function coaches, is that for every 10 outreaches you do, you typically get 1 client from those 10 outreaches. So this is huge, Ella. Way to go. So really happy to see that. And then Ella, again, with the double slam dunk here, she started the 90-day paid client course. And I just love what she's doing. But like Ella is really going for it here. Like she's adding people to her outreach tracker. And she did something else on here. Oh, she built her offer. So this is really cool. So one of the features of the 90-day paid client course is that there is a offer template, and Ella did a great job throwing her logo on it, modifying the template, putting her pricing in, right? And so this is there for you. All you have to do is throw in your details. A lot of successful coaches don't even have a website. All they have is a document, and they take payments through something like Venmo. So it can be easier than you think. You don't have to complicate it. You can just get started. Don't let a website or any of that stuff get in the way of getting going. Okay. And then lastly, Susan is getting results. So Susan has been doing the 90-day paid client course, doing a fantastic job. And I was looking at her wins on her path to her first paying client. And I saw this down here, and I just love to see this, that she met with someone this past week. And she said, that person said she's going to refer clients to her. She just wants to see a website so she can send them to the website. As people know, you can build a very simple free website using a tool like Tutorbird. So that's not too much work. I've seen people do it in less than a day, get it done. So just love to see that someone's already saying she's going to be sending her paid clients, probably a month into doing that course. So fantastic work, Susan. So this leads us to the final 2 sections here, how to crush procrastination. Okay, so let me go through the things that really allow you to crush procrastination. So the first one is your mindset. You got to have a mindset shift. You can't let procrastination defeat you. You got to fight back, fight the procrastination. And that starts with this mindset tweak, which is you can start before you're ready. You don't have to feel ready to start. No one feels ready when they start something challenging. Like you don't get on a bike and learn to ride a bike because you feel ready. You get on a bike because you're like, I have made a decision. Now the word decision means to cut off all other possibilities. You have made a decision to start something, and that's the only path forward. When you make that decision, you do it, right? So you have to start before you're ready. You have to say, I am willing to get messy, to get uncomfortable, and that's the key, right? Number 2, you have to do something today. This can't be one day. It's got to be, hey, I am going to carve out 5 minutes today to work on this, okay? If you can commit to a 2 to 5 minute investment in the thing you know you need to do, that is critical. Next thing about this ending procrastination is called the domino effect. So let me show you what that looks like here. So I've actually pulled up a little slide deck of this. So this is the domino effect. And some scientists they studied this. They found that if you have a domino that is 2 inches tall and you increase the next size of the domino by 1.5% or by 150%. So it goes from 2 inches to 3.5 inches. That 2-inch domino can knock over the 3.5-inch domino. By the 18th domino, it would be big enough to knock over the Eiffel Tower or the Leaning Tower of Pisa. By the 25th domino, it could knock over the Eiffel Tower. By the, I think this is 51st domino, it could knock over or be as tall as Mount Everest. By the 57th domino, it could touch the moon, right? And now I actually dropped into the community an example of this. So if you're in the EFCA community and you want to check this out, go into the new videos, and I put in a little video of a guy showing how this works. Like this tiny domino can knock over this giant domino if you just start with the tiny domino. Okay, so that all leads me to say, start with the thing you know you need to do. Now, one of my mentors, and actually when I joined Teach for America, I really appreciated her. She passed away, unfortunately, but she told me something I'll never forget. And she said, if you're wondering what you need to do, like pause, like kind of feel into your frontal lobe and like ask yourself, what's the thing I'm avoiding? And that thing you're avoiding is usually the thing you need to start with. And that was such a powerful reminder that like we intuitively know what we need to do. It's the thing that is the resistance. The only way to get through it is to go through it. You get through it, you go through it, right? So start with that thing, the thing that is creating the resistance, and then everything else will fall into place. Okay. So I want to end this with a quote that I really like on this concept, which is the final thought is, we may spend our whole life climbing the ladder of success only to find that when we get to the top that our ladder is leaning against the wrong wall, right? So today I want you to think about whatever ladder you're climbing, what's at the peak. For many of you, it's having your own executive function coaching practice where you're working from home, you're charging a solid rate where it's based on your expertise, right? You're not like shorting yourself just because you want to please others. Maybe you're free in the summers and on breaks. Maybe you're only working Monday through Thursday or at hours that make you happy, right? And that's where you're trying to get. That's the ladder you're climbing, right? So what is the first rung on that ladder? And oftentimes it's reaching out to people to share your value proposition, but it's probably not posting a bunch on social media. Maybe it is. It's probably not, doing something else for free or whatever it might be. That's not a rung on that ladder of success. So don't be climbing the wrong ladder. Focus on the end vision and what is the smallest rung you can climb today in service of that vision. So I hope this has been helpful to you. Please drop in the comments, if you're on YouTube, what was most helpful about this video and why, and where do you feel stuck, right? Put it out there. One thing I tell people is you're 42% more likely to achieve it just by writing it down based on some studies of writing down your goals. So put in the comments, share it in the community. I'm here to support you. I want to see you succeed, and I will see you next week in the EFCA News number 11. Ciao.